94.9 The Rock, GTA's Rock Station, here in the Rock Studio in our fancy little corner setup with Matt Mays. Matt, how you doing today?
I'm doing great.
Thank you so much for coming in.
No probs.
You're coming to the Oshawa Music Hall, a little makeup date after a summer of touring. How's the summer been going?
It's been awesome, man. We've been out with the Gaslight Anthem in the States and being out west a little bit here and there, and it's having a lot of really great shows. We just did 2 nights with the Arkells guys, and it's been a pretty magical, outdoorsy summer festival kind of summer.
Well, that's what I wanted to ask you. Once Upon a Hell of a Time. I wanted to ask you about that because I know you just did that. It was Empire Rock Fest in Belleville, I think was one of them. You're coming here to do a club. I always like to ask, how do you change as a band or as a performer from those big outdoor festivals to the clubs?
Well, we've been doing it a while, so you kind of let the venue sort of decide and sort of play to it. So I love doing both. I don't know, when you're doing the outdoor shows, it's kind of nice to sort of, our solos get a little longer and trippier because we're like looking at the wind in the trees, you know.
Yeah.
But in clubs, it's kind of fun you kind of get a little more engaged with the audience, and it's a little louder and a little crazier.
Is the key to not go in with any expectations, like just to go and go like, oh, we're just going to play our best and not expect a reaction from the audience?
Yeah, I think it's it's a bit of a dance. I kind of go out and read the crowd within the first 30 seconds. I know what I'm sort of dealing with.
Really, that's that fast.
And they're in charge. I'm just kind of there to. Each crowd is sort of like one person. It's got a lot of different personalities, and they're all different, like people are. So I try to read that person right away and sort of play to that, and so does the band. So that's usually how you get the connection going fastest.
That's really cool. So you think of it as a single entity and just go with
exactly.
it. That's really cool.
Yep.
So you got a couple smaller club gigs coming up, but this Gaslight Anthem tour, you're playing some pretty big venues in the States, big Soft Cedars, House of Blues, stuff like that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, we're playing all these legendary halls, 2 nights and stuff at each one, and the Gaslight Anthem's crowd's been really good to us, and we're doing 2 nights with them in Toronto in a little while, which will be great to get them on some Canadian soil. And it's been really quite magical so far. Yeah.
Well, speaking of Toronto, you're now a resident. Mm-hmm. So born in Hamilton.
Yep.
Raised in Dartmouth.
Yep.
L.A., New York, and now Toronto.
Yes.
All work-related moves. I mean, obviously not when you were a kid. You go where your parents tell you to go. But like all work-related moves. Going to go to New York City to be a guy writing music in New York. Is that what happened there?
Well, I think I kind of go where the wind takes me. I had an opportunity to. My friend was subletting in his apartment super cheap in Brooklyn. So I decided that day to move, and then I went the next day, and then I was there for 8 years or something. So I just kind of go where the wind takes me, and I work wherever I am, and luckily those cities have great studios and a lot of great inspiration in all the cities I've lived in, including out back home in Nova Scotia too.
That was you answered my question about how a Canadian rock star lives in New York City, because you guys work hard, but it's Canadian radio, we try real hard to support our own but it's a slog, man. You guys work hard. Like your first album, I read you said you had 3 jobs while the first album came out.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, and luckily it did well enough that I got to quit all 3 of them.
That's the goal, right?
Yeah, that is the goal. Yeah, but I did. I had three jobs to pay for my first studio bills, back in the day. Yeah.
Speaking of that first album, I like the term. I'm always questioning the term, the vinyl reissues of the albums.
Yep.
Well, these were never on vinyl before, right?
No.
You grew up. You're a bit younger than me, but we're about the same age. You grew up with records.
I did, yeah. They were my everything.
Yeah, like I had records. I still have records. I was that guy that, because there was that period in the 90s where nobody had records.
Yeah.
So I got everybody's uncle's record collection when they were getting rid of things. So I've got all kinds of great vinyl. Right. How does it feel like when you first took that stuff out and put it on and listened to it on vinyl? It must have been something for you.
Yeah, it was awesome, man. I recorded all those like they were on vinyl, like they had, like I did CDs like they had a side A and side B.
Okay, cool, so
they were all designed to sound like vinyl, to be really warm and analog-y, and have side A, side B. So getting to actually hear them on that format has been pretty magical. Getting to just hold them all like my children.
Yeah,
it's been pretty great. Yeah.
And now vinyl's obviously made this huge comeback, but still, how people consume music is so different now. Mm-hmm. Has that changed your writing process at all? Like thinking about odds are somebody's going to go and stream this one song first, and maybe because they're not even buying it anymore. It's not iTunes. It's not. They're just streaming it.
Right.
Does that change your process at all?
Yeah, I think there's good positives and negatives to the whole thing, but I think it's a good thing. It's for me, it's gonna get me off my ass to just kind of keep pumping out music faster, because before I was like, oh, this record's got to be perfect, and I would spend like 5 years on it, and then
it's been 5 years between these two, right?
Know, and the last one too, because I'm kind of a perfectionist and I want to make sure the whole record's good. But now it's sort of like I'm kind of excited to just sort of pump out some jams, and if they stick, they stick. If they don't, they don't, and just keep kind of getting them out, which is kind of a relief for me. And it's kind of I can be more creative, because once something's out, I'm like boom, back in the studio.
It's out, it's gone, it's for other people to consume. But that's got to be. It comes with age too, right? Like I think your perspective changes. And as you get older, you're like, okay, what is perfection? And, what are we trying for here?
Yeah.
It's rock and roll. It's not that it's not important, but it's art, but it's just making a great tune, right?
Exactly. Back in the day, it was hard to sonically make records sound good, but now you can make a great sounding record if you're like 10 and you have a laptop. You can make a pretty great sounding record. So I'm not worried about that anymore. It's like I'm almost trying to make records sound worse.
Right. Yeah. A little more a little dirtier, a little more distortion.
The same to me, So it's I'm trying to make records sound worse, I think, from now on.
I get that. I get that,
because
if
it's have character.
If it sounds too clean, it doesn't feel like it's authentic, right?
Yeah. It's so you can press a button and make a vocal sound perfect or a drum part, and that's why every band sounds the same now. To me, a lot of them. Yeah. Because they all hit those same buttons that go snap everything into this robot mode. Yeah. Which I think defeats the entire purpose, But if you're, with rock and roll, anyways.
It's still, yeah. Are there bands that excite you right now, or besides Gaslight Anthem and the Arkells?
Yeah. Friends of mine. I mean, Adam Baldwin, he's in my band, so I can't.
We know Adam. Yeah, he's a good guy.
He is. I gotta say, I've heard his new stuff, and it's really amazing. And also my buds from out east called Walrus. Their new record is insane. It's so good.
Oh, cool.
So they're East Coast buds of mine, but they're incredible. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. When you're on the road, I mean, do you have time to chill, to listen, to
Oh yeah, there's a lot of time.
Yeah,
to chill.
Right. There is. Right. There's a lot of downtime, and that can get hard to deal with sometimes for some guys.
It does. Yeah, but I mean, I've been doing it for almost 20 years now, and so I got it down.
Yeah. It's like, I can relax and find some time for yourself.
Yeah. You can get a lot of music listening and podcasts and reading done and stuff like that, and exercise and all, there's a lot of things you can do to kind of fill up the days for sure.
I won't keep you much longer, but I want to go back to the writing process, and I'm always interested. I always like to ask artists, because I can't play music. I'm a DJ. I like playing other people's music and trying to create a vibe throughout the night. But I love people who write and learned on their own. I know you were a 3-chord guy, every kid, pick up a guitar. How does your where does the music come from? Is it lyrics first? Are you jamming out chords? What is it?
It's different every time. I think for me, the main thing is I get up and go in the studio and just start writing something, and I used to be more romantic about it and be like, I'm going to rent a room at the Chelsea Hotel and write a huge hit, and I've learned that that's not the way to do it.
It doesn't come that way?
No, you'll probably be like shoveling the driveway or something when something good happens or something
interesting.
Stupid. But if you don't put a hook in the water, you won't catch a fish. So I just try to put as many hooks in as I can. If I'm not doing anything, I'll pick up a guitar and just start playing around.
Oh yeah.
And then sometimes the words will come, sometimes the chords will come. But I find the songs that I like the most are the ones that come out at the exact same time, words and chords. It's sort of more like channeling the song.
It's like a divine inspiration almost,
it is,
if it comes at the same time.
And I like them the best because I feel like I didn't write them. I feel like I just channeled them from somewhere, because it's kind of too weird. They come so fast.
Yeah.
And I've only probably have a handful of songs out of hundreds that I've written that were like that. It's sort of
That's amazing. Sort of like and now are those the songs that became hits?
Some of them, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's because
it's
interesting.
People actually tend to like the best too.
Yeah.
They seem the less contrived. You can tell. I didn't think about them.
Yeah.
I think people like that.
We got an authenticity to them.
Exactly. Yeah.
Speaking of authenticity in Dartmouth, here, I didn't even tell these guys I'm gonna do this. Let's talk about this before we go. We'll get out of here. Now we got you a Donair.
Wow.
Yeah, because in Dartmouth here, all right, we're in Oshawa here,
so
is in the studios.
Styrofoam, so you don't get that at home.
No, So tell me about it. Here, I'll hold your mic. Open that up, and then you let me know if this looks authentic at least.
Okay. Okay, for starters, it's a little too
Oh,
fancy.
yeah.
Because it's gotta, it's gotta just be wrapped up
Right
super
tight, so you can
tight,
hold it. Yeah.
And then you go down, but it's looking pretty good.
Yeah, is the sauce under there? I don't.
The thing is, it's not drenched with sauce. Let's see what's
No,
under here.
there's no sauce.
No, there's no sauce.
Oh, but the meat looks good.
Maybe it's on the side.
Maybe it's on the side.
Meat's
Yeah.
good.
Meat's good though.
Great.
Oh, this is great. This is awesome.
Really good.
So, it is good meat. Okay, good. So we'll have to. And so, tell me, so the sauce is the kind of the thing, and what's the sauce?
I'm just trying to be like the Haligonian. That's like, it's actually I like my sauce on the side. So
Oh, you do? Okay, well, look at that. We did that on purpose then.
Some people like it. It looks. It's just a little wild. It's a little too much for me. But this is great, man.
Good. Oh, good. Well, Matt Mays, Once Upon a Hell of a
talk to you later.
Time. Yeah, I enjoy. Thanks for coming in, man. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, man.